Hello my frugal friends, welcome back to our place for another extreme grocery budget challenge video. Today, $5 a day in Exmouth, Western Australia. So Exmouth, Western Australia is on the Ningaloo Reef. It's a huge tourist area. It only has 2 IGAs. No Coles, no Woolies, no Aldi, nothing fancy like that. But I am taking on a $5 a day challenge. That's $35 for the week to come up with 7 serves of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All right, so let's jump into the grocery haul and see what I bought and what meals I can pull together for just $5 a day. And this is my little haul for today. I'm actually really excited about everything that I was able to pick up. Yes, I did get some markdown stuff, and yes, that is just the luck of the draw, but this is what I'm working with today because this was what I was able to find. I do find that just about everywhere has markdowns. You just have to be there at the right time. And for the most part, around 10 o'clock seems to work for us, regardless of where we are. So once again, it is just the luck of the draw, but this is what we found. So this is what I'm going to work with for our grocery budget challenge this week. So unless I say otherwise, this is just the standard price, and I will put the stuff up on the screen for you guys. So got a packet of quick oats, some peach slices. I do have a big jar of passata sauce. I have a packet of fettuccine. I do have this massive, and I have to show you guys how big this is because this loaf, it's a dark rye and it is absolutely humongous. It is day old from the bakery that is next door to the IGA, so it's always worthwhile popping in and seeing what they have in there because that is a huge loaf of bread for $3. Very happy about that. Mission wraps are on special this week, and it's always worth having a look on the shelves because this was $3. The regular price Community Co ones were a little bit cheaper, but the size difference meant that this was actually a better deal, so I spent a little bit extra and got these ones. It wasn't much, but it's going to actually give me more bang for my buck, so I decided to go for the Mission on special. Baby spinach was marked down. It doesn't have a clearance sticker on it, but there was a bunch of salad stuff that was marked down because it was sell by today, so we did pick those up on clearance. I've picked up a little veggie pack that has a massive zucchini in there. I've got 2 tomatoes and an orange capsicum for $3. I have picked up a cucumber for $2. I've picked up a reduced Iceberg lettuce. This was 70 cents. Now they were on special this week for $2, which is a really good price anyways, but I'll take one for 70 cents. That's a little bit, you know, marked down and maybe a little bit banged up, but I don't mind. So that one again was a clearance. It's worthwhile just having a bit of a look around. Packet of mixed veggies, just the regular price on the shelf. 2 potatoes, regular price this week. I also did grab 1 sweet potato. I did pay a little bit more for this one. That was about $4.50 a kilo, but pretty excited about what I'm going to do with that. A bag of dried black beans, a packet of bananas that were marked down. This was $2 for 4 or 5 bananas, and I've also managed to pick up some apples as well, $1.35 for these ones, which are the Bravo. I do have an onion as well, and I think that brings us full circle, and that is everything that I'm going to be working with to get 7 days out of. Breakfast number 1, and I'm going to make a peach oat bake. I'm going to start by mashing 3 of my bananas. It is going to leave me with 2 still in my packet, so we'll keep those for another meal. Right, next, I'm going to want all of the juice or the syrup out of this. This is what I'm going to use as my liquid, and maybe a little bit of water if this isn't quite enough. Want 1.5 cups of liquid. Right, it's not looking too bad, but I will add just a little bit of water just so we've got enough. And we're just going to mix that all together. All right, and next up, we're going to add in 3 cups of quick oats. And gently fold in the oats to the liquid. So this is going to make quite a dense slice or bake because it's just oats. If you had some extra things around and you wanted to change this up a little bit, you could add a little bit of self-raising flour. You could add some plain flour and a little bit of baking powder and give it a little bit of rise. It'll still be quite dense, but it'll make it a little bit fluffy. And if you wanted to add some extra flavor, I would recommend maybe throwing in some cinnamon. It's already going to be very sweet with the syrup out of this, so I don't think you need to add any brown sugar or maple syrup or anything like that. But if you wanted to substitute in something else and not use the syrup from this, you could just use milk, and then of course you could sweeten it however you like. But and this is what we're working with today. I'm not going to add anything extra. Let's get it in the pan. So now we're going to get our oats into a lined baking dish. Sorry for all of the people out there who are wondering what size I'm using. I don't know. This is the size that fits in my oven in the caravan, and it is what came with the oven. So, all right, now that we have our base all lovely and smoothed out, ooh, I'm going to go ahead and get our slippery little peach slices, and we're just going to pop them on top. Alright, and we're going to bake that one in the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes or until it's cooked through. And this is made for massive serves for breakfast, which I will just pop in a container in the fridge and then heat it up in the microwave so that it's beautiful and warm. It might actually even be nice cold, but look at the size of these serves. Definitely not going to be hungry. And for my second breakfast for this week, I'm going to take the leftover oats and 2 bananas and the apples that we picked up marked down, and I'm going to do a breakfast apple crumble. So we're going to start by just dicing up our apples. They were marked down, so there may be some bruises. I'm not terribly worried because we're going to cook them. So nothing too fancy, just chop them up and get them in our pan. I'm going to cover these with a cup of water. I'm going to pop the lid on and we're just going to let those gently simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes or until they're nice and soft and they've cooked through. And for our crumble top, we're just going to mash 2 bananas and add 2 cups of oats. once our apples are lovely and soft and squidgy, I'm going to go ahead and get them into a baking dish again, because they're going to go into the oven. Alright, so our apples are spread out in a fairly thin layer. Now we're going to come in and just sprinkle the crumble on top. Alright, and this one is also going to go in the oven for about 30 minutes or until it's nice and brown and crumbly on top. The apple crumble has made 3 really big serves, which I'm just going to put into some containers. So individual serves can either have this cold or I can heat it up in the microwave for breakfast. But there's another 3 breakfasts, massive serves. The plan is for lunches and dinner to be interchangeable. I just want to end up with 14 meals in total. So I'm going to get as much prep done as I can today, put them in the fridge so that they're ready to go throughout the week. First up, I'm going to make Broccoli Mum's creamy courgette soup, which is so super easy. I'm going to use the zucchini out of our mixed pack of veggies. The rest of the stuff I'm going to put aside for another meal. So just pretend we're looking at that bit. A couple of spuds, and I'm going to use half of our onion. I'm going to dice everything up, get it in the pot, cover it with 3 cups of water and just let it simmer. So I'm going to bring that to the boil, and then I'm going to turn it down and let it simmer for 20 minutes or until those veggies are nice and soft. And then I'm just going to mash it to make it creamy. This is also a really versatile soup. So if you do have some seasonings floating around and you want to chuck in a little bit more flavor, go ahead and do this. It's a fantastic recipe, so quick and easy, but again, like I said, so versatile. So these are my recommendations, but again, if you guys want to try it at home, feel free to add whatever you want to this, or just have it as it is, because again, it's just a beautiful soup as it is. Our personal favorite is to add Tuscan or just a garlic salt. Works really, really well. If you don't have either of those, just plain old salt and pepper is really nice. The other thing that you can add that we quite like is a little bit of nutritional yeast or Parmesan cheese. Now, we don't actually have Parmesan cheese. This is nutritional yeast hiding in our Parmesan cheese shaker, but you could just add plain old Parmesan cheese or nutritional yeast if that's what you have. It'll give it a nice cheesy flavor as well. But again, if you have some seasonings, go ahead, have a bit of a look, see what's going to work, throw in a bit of salt and pepper, or just leave it as it is. Once our vegetables are fork tender, turn the heat off, go ahead and grab a potato masher, And I'm just going to mash this up. If you have a blender or a little stick blender that you can use, it's probably a bit easier and you'll get a creamier result, but I don't have that. I've just got my handy dandy masher, so we're just going to mash. Another thing you can go ahead and do if you'd like to is add some milk, plant-based or regular milk, about half a cup to this. Will also give it a nice creamy consistency. My soup's going to be a little bit chunky, like I said, because I don't actually have a blender. I'm just using a masher, but it's still absolutely beautiful. And this has made me 3 serves, which I'm going to enjoy with some of that beautiful bakery bread. So just to let you know what I am going to do with this massive loaf of rye bread. There will be more than what I need for the week, but I've allocated half of this to have with the soup and half for another meal. So that'll be more than enough. That'll be more than filling. Be absolutely delicious to have with my beautiful creamy courgette soup. Sometimes the best things are the simplest things, and I'm just calling this one our kiss meal. We're going to keep it simple. We're going to do a really simple pasta, and we're going to have a really simple salad on the side. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to use about half of this packet of baby spinach. I am going to reserve the other half for another meal. And I'm probably going to be left with some leftover salad stuff because this is a lot of lettuce, but I am aiming for 4 big serves out of this one, and I definitely think we're going to get there. For the pasta, I'm bringing a large pot to the boil, and I'm just going to cook the pasta according to the directions on the back. This one cooks in about 8 minutes. While the pasta is cooking, simmering away over here, we're going to get started on the sauce. Alright, the sauce is going to be very simple. I'm just going to add half of the jar of passata, half of the bag of baby spinach. So I'm going to start bringing this sauce to a simmer, but I am going to add some herbs to it as well. So whatever it is that you've got at home, Italian, Tuscan, salt and pepper, it doesn't really matter what it is. Whatever it is that you've got that you like, add a little bit of flavor, and we're going to make this sauce start simmering. This pasta is almost done, I'm actually going to come in and steal a little bit of this pasta water. It's nice and starchy. It's going to help this sauce stick back to the pasta when I put it back on. It's also going to make the sauce just go a smidge bit further and coat all of our pasta. Once the pasta's done, you go ahead and strain that. I'm going to need 2 hands for that. And then we're going to pop it in with our sauce and mix it all together. The plan is to make a fresh salad with each serve. So just showing you guys, I've still got heaps of stuff left over. I'll definitely get 4 more serves or 3 more serves, 4 in total, out of our salad stuff. A massive big pot of pasta, which I'm about to dish up from, but again, definitely 4 large serves in here as well. Alright, and there we go. This is definitely going to make 4 absolutely massive serves. Now, once again, if you would like some optional extras that you could have if you could add if you have them, Parmesan cheese or nutritional yeast, you could go and chuck that on your pasta if you wanted to. And if you happen to have some salad dressing, it doesn't really matter what type, lying around, you could go ahead and add that to your salad. But 4 big serves, keep it simple, salad and pasta. The black beans have been soaking overnight, so now I'm going to rinse them over here in the sink, discard this water, and then I'm going to cook according to the packet directions. So it's 35 minutes in a pot, and a ratio of 3 cups of water to 1 cup of beans that I'm cooking. And it's going to simmer that away for about 35 minutes or until they're tender. So sometimes that sort of depends. Keep an eye on it, but that's our beans prepped. The beans are cooked and I've drained them. They are just fork tender. They did take 40 minutes. I gave them an extra 5 minutes just to make sure that they were cooked. And now I'm going to get them ready for the 2 recipes that I'm going to use them in. So the first step is going to be the same for both recipes. So we're going to do that as a big batch, and then I will split it. What I am going to do is use the other half of my onion. I will dice this up, and I am going to raid the pantry for some seasonings. Now, I sort of figure everybody has some sort of seasoning on hand. If not, you could just grab a packet of taco mix. It would work just as well. It's about $1. But things as simple as onion and garlic powder will work. If you have some different flavored spices or Mexican inspired flavors, that will work. And sometimes think outside the box a little bit. I think roast chicken will work as well. It's got those same sort of flavors. Even you could do some Cajun seasoning as well. And if all else fails, if you don't even have any of that, we're looking for a bit of a gravy sort of flavor, or sort of consistency, I should say. So if you've got gravy, that would work as well. So we don't actually want to make a runny gravy, but we just want to flavor it a little bit with some of those more beefy, meaty, I'm thinking Mexican inspired flavors. But raid the pantry, see what you've got. That's what we're doing here today. Over here in my large Curtis stone pan, I'm just going to start frying off the half an onion, which I've diced up as finely as I sort of could. Just going to give this a couple of minutes before we get the beans in. Time to go in with the beans. And about a tablespoon of whatever seasoning you've decided to go with. Or you can just leave this step out and leave the beans as they are. Give that a good sprinkle around, mix it through. And then add a tablespoon or so of water, just to stop that from sticking if need be. At this point, I'm going to set half of this aside to use in a separate meal. My next recipe is a really simple baked beans and veggies on toast. So I'm going to use half of our beans mix that we've already made. I'm going to use the other half of the passata sauce that we saved from the pasta dish, and I'm going to use about 1/3 of this bag of mixed vegetables. This one here is a great easy dump and go recipe. You could easily substitute in a tin of beans to make things a bit quicker and easier, but we're literally just going to chuck this stuff in the pot. Make sure you get the last of the sauce out, mix it all together, heat it up, and then cook up some toast. I'm going to put the lid on that one and just let it simmer away until those vegetables are cooked. All right, and there we go. This is going to make 3 massive serves. It's going to toast up some of that rye bread and dish this up. And the final meal that I'm going to make this week is going to be sweet potato and black bean burritos. This is an 8-pack of wraps, so I'm hoping to stretch this to make 4 big serves. I'm going to start by prepping the sweet potato. I'm just going to peel it, chop it up and cook it. I am actually going to cook it in the microwave and then mash it. Once I've done that, I'm going to mix it through the black beans. I'm going to have these ingredients cool down before I start to actually build my burritos. Alright, the sweet potatoes cooled down, so I'm just going to pop that in with the black beans. I'm going to mix this together, and this is going to be the main filling for our burritos. To assemble our burritos, just going to put a couple of blobs in the middle of our wrap, chuck some baby spinach in on top. Wrap the sides over and over again. There we go. And we're just going to continue until all 8 are done. I've made 8 burritos. So I'm thinking that 2 will be a really good filling serve. So I'll cook up 2 at a time in the skillet. The other ones I'll just put into a container in the fridge. They're ready to go. And I'll just pull them out and heat them up, like I said, in the skillet when it's time to get some burrito on. Wow, and that is it. I've just got to say, I think that the meals that I pulled together this week may actually be my all-time favorite extreme grocery budget challenge meals that I've ever done. We liked everything so much that we're actually going to put those into rotation on a regular basis just for our family, because they were that damn good that we will definitely be doing all of that again. I also just wanted to say a really quick thank you so much for spending a little bit of time here with me today. I really do appreciate it. If you did enjoy today's video, if you got something useful out of it, if you could please give it a thumbs up, I really appreciate that. Also, it lets me know the kind of content you guys are enjoying and what you would like to see more of. And as always, if you would like to see more stuff from me and you haven't already subscribed, now would be a great time to go and hit that little red button down below so you can stay up to date with everything that's happening at our place, wherever we happen to be in Australia. Well, I hope you are having a fantastic week, and I do hope to catch up with you in my next video. Until then, take care, my friends. Bye.